like I am still leaning towards a Granger, or maybe even it's Dom and Kite's turn to play the Moskov, depending on the matchup in the gold.
Yeah, so just the Claude going to the hands of Daiki.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like even so, though, he's still going to have to be very careful of the positioning because of just how much it can be thrown at him from Aurora. I'm talking about the Leo Moore light again on this, one of his best heroes, the Grok, and now you throw an Arlot into the mix too. Yeah. It's going to be really crucial for Daiki's positioning.
If I'm Liquid, steal the Moskov paired with a Gatot. You get Gatot Jushin in mid, you get the Gatot Moskov against the Farsa. Oh, they go carry. Okay.
The only thing that makes the carry a little dangerous is the fact that it's mid-range into the Farsa's burst.
Yeah. You're gonna hope you can get that Malefic gun.
Yeah, get in there before you're taken out.
Yeah. Which is tough because if you got caught, I feel like into that Feathered Airstrike or even into any of the crowd control that can be thrown at you between the Arlot and the Grok is going to be very tough to deal with if you're the carry.
Yeah. Time came that the Gatot Kacha came through.
Oh, here we go again.
Needs to be said that re-engage is so important for Liquid. Leslie gets picked.
So Leslie comes into play in Game 3. Welcome to Land of Dawn. Final game for this epic rivalry between TLPH and Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how much of a menace Leslie is going up against her in our ranked games. Even though you know how or what you want to do to avoid making the most out of the kit of the Leslie, proccing those two really strong enhanced true damage basic attacks, it just hurts. And if it's a really good Leslie player, there's only so much that you can do. That's why you get the two roamers now in the gold lane to start.
Yeah, she's also relatively immobile.
Yeah.
Kind of telegraph where she wants to be, where she has to be, even with the Master of Camouflage. Daiki put down to a tenth of his health, forcing an early revitalize from JP.
So everybody probably watching this at some point has played against a Leslie. And you know how difficult that lane is in the gold lane to be able to, and again, like Renmar mentioned, that's why you got the roams there. So I'm really looking at how Daiki's going to be able to go ahead and transition on this carry who's already, like we mentioned,
it's not an easy lane out to begin with.
The lane itself is not in your favor, but then even the team fights, like the disadvantage that you have with the range, of course.
Where do I go?
Is, and that's the difficult part here. So Domenkite, on the other hand, is literally just going to continue to scale up and then just be taking people down, a quarter of their health to half of their health. Unless he flickers out.
That is a charged Queller to the face of Domenkite. All right. Safe to say, Carl Teasy knows what he's up against. Again, it helps that the SIBO qualifiers saw a Liquid matchup against the Leslie just a few days ago.
Yeah. So maybe I wonder if that's Liquid now feeding Daiki information. No, do this. Okay, no, we gotta do this. We already went up against it and won.
Okay, with this, they're gonna transition now up to the objective. Turtles up. Positioning right now for Aurora to go ahead and take advantage of. This is also the fact that they have a Feathered Airstrike on their side. Light not level 4 yet, but still that wall is going to be tough to deal with, that rampart. They're going to fight for this half health on the turtle, though.
Feathered Airstrike coming in from UF, able to put up enough of a defense to take down JP. Carl Teasy gets in there, takes the Lord. Demon Kite gets quelled here. And now Carl Teasy just wailing away in immortality form. Edward in trouble! Katon gets taken down by Carl Teasy.
Now this is the problem for Aurora. Because of the two roamers going into the gold lane to support their gold laners, that left the Suyo and the Leomore to farm up. That could have gone either way. Yeah. But again, Carl Teasy will continue to be aggressive because he only has to worry about the Farsa. The rest of the high damage of Aurora comes from physical, something that, of course, Suyo still has defense against.
Yeah, Suyo still, again, the mobility of this hero is really what shines for a lot of the team compositions that play with it. And like I was saying before that turtle broke out, one of the main things that was missing there was having that tech charge available on the Grok. So they lose out to the turtle. They're not too far behind at all, right? They're still in a pretty good even position on both sides, but I would say even so, for Daiki at least, he's in a little bit more fighting position to deal with Domenkite. He's just, again, got to play this lane correctly and farm up the way he needs to. Now, on that note, with Light being level 4 now, you can expect him to go ahead and try to set things up potentially. JP more so is on this kind of like, I'm going to babysit the lane if I have to. If I've got to go ahead and jump in or get that unbreakable taunt off, then that's great. I'm more of a peeler right now for this because TLPH's lineup has to scale up.
Yeah. So it's tough for Dominkai to be aggressive, knowing that JP could show up at any time. And at the same time, Daiki is now in an even better position to be aggressive. Yes, ultimately the bigger chunks of damage comes out from Dominkai. If Dominkai is not careful, he's not going to be able to maximize the passive. Meaning that after chunking down the carry low, the carry pops up ultimate, has to flicker to dash forward, and Dominkai can just get burned down.
I miss this.
Yeah.
The younger Uchiha, just a much faster farmer than Leomord.
How much ahead he is right now, too. So
Two
turtles
levels.
up 2 levels. That's a big advantage right now against Demon Kite to deal with. Again, space crucial here. Daiki can get spotted out by Demon Kite on that extra brush here with this dangerous grass map. So still taking their time with it, though, just because they know they have to watch out for the initiation.
Crimson Beacon by Sanji, the answer. Pattern Steed from Demon Kite. Down goes Light, the answer. Better airstrike. And still Liquid put their foot down. Dominkite taking down Sanford, and Carl Deasy once again 2 for 2 on that turtle. Now Edward flickering on back. Carl Deasy comes through, on once more. Down goes Edward. Carl Deasy calling the shots. Dominkite takes down Yue, and now attempting Grand Theft Purple. Demonkite still has the retribution. Oh, that's the momentum plus the retribution secures his own.
Yeah, Demonkite gets his own buff. Liquid. Great handling of the fights. Carl Deasy, you see the gears turning in his head of timing the entry. And it was also a good thing that Liquid was the one that initiated that, because Light was in a perfect position to surprise.
Demon Kai 2v1 gets punished. Sanford, huge.
Big pickup there. That's what they needed. I think still, if you look at this, you're going to have to kind of deal with Dominkite sitting on 2 kills now with the Leslie. It'll be interesting to see what build path he goes here, too, especially for this, going against this kind of composition that TLPH has. But, yeah, right now they've got good early control, almost 2,000 up, kind of just taking their time with the way they approach some of these fights, and just Carl Deasy farming out of his mind on the Suyo. Oh, here's the focus.
Whoa! AOG, even underneath tier 1, you were saying, Joseph.
Hey, he doesn't have a flicker, but he's able to just kind of get out with the camo. So now he's got the support here. Gonna spot out Sanji.
Ultimate snipe.
Yeah, they just want to hold this down.
Feathered airstrike, pushing back Daiki, who wanted to take down that turret. Aurora able to save parts of the map.
Okay, good, folks. Oh, look at the damage coming out of that Leslie. I know for a lot of people that might not seem like a lot, but that's a good, healthy chunk. Daiki now focusing on the turret.
Oh, they're doing their best, their darndest to stop the push, because again, Dominkite needs the space. He needs this turret to stay.
Yeah. And good thing Light showed up at that time, because they knew that Yue already used a feathered airstrike.
Yeah.
But Team Liquid could have just dove under the tower and take down potentially Yue and Dominkite, or just force out the flickers and get the tower. But with Light showing up, there was a risk that they could have gotten counter tech charge.
Whoa, Edward with a vengeance, another one. The answer, Crimson Beacon by Sanji, and down goes Daiki. Dominkite pops him, headshot.
And he used the flicker too, so imagine how much pressure he dealt with, protecting that tier 1 turret. Ends up getting a 3rd kill now for Dominkite. Fighting for this turtle. Look at the damage on Sanford. Just a couple pokes. They're gonna go in with a charge.
Phantom Seed from a Demon Kite here, helping serve up a kill to Yue. Carl Deasy 3 for 3. Who's gonna stop the goat? JP gets the spell that off of that, but Edward finishes him off. Aurora, despite the turtle getting taken away from them, win the trade.
Oh, he's gotta be
the
careful.
Leslie.
Dominkite, almost point blank.
Oh, Edward
taking
missed.
down Carl.
Was that a
Not
miss
gonna
call?
happen. Edward a little too deep. There was nowhere for him to go unless the flicker's up, though.
Yeah, I think they were trying to look for the trade. Edward probably accepted that he was going to get taken out. That's why he tried to go for the predictive final slash. But Carl Deasy got the sidestep it just in time, man. That was actually a great call by Edward to final slash it there, not where Carl Deasy was going.
Crimson Beacon up, putting Dominkite right underneath Sanford's blade. The shutdown.
Oh, that's exactly what they needed. Finally getting that shutdown on Dominkite will make something happen here too, and I still have to point out the fact that Demonkite is so far behind in terms of Carl Deasy. Even in that levels, it's really not the best position to be in, but he can rely on the team to kind of help them stay into this game.
Carl Deasy is in Shippuden, while Demonkite's still again in.
I don't know the ranks, I'm sorry.
Same. But
Genin
I know
is like
what he's
episode 1, bro.
Yeah.
Shinobi? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ninja.
I'll go for that.
We know who the Naruto fan is here.
Not me.
Hey, the thing is you kind of forget because you haven't seen Suyo too much in the previous seasons, just how fast he can farm up. And when you have this kind of lead, look at this, and even his itemization, the way he's building in, it's that finesse on the Suyo that works so well. The ability to farm up and then kind of maneuver in and out of these team fights and find the right amount of damage on the right target.
The earliest I've seen Suyo actually be in demand was in the SEA Games in Thailand. And now he's a real threat, it seems like.
Ooh. Well, Sanford would try to commit the flicker, but oh, okay. So Cartesian was way too far there at that time. Would have been too risky. So now with a 4 level gap still. He's at 14 now. Cartesian, Demon Kite still at 10. The crazy thing is they're fine. US Deathless, his damage hurts. Demon Kite, it hurts, and he debuts to Leslie once again after using her back in MPL Philippines Season 13 playoffs with Minana Evos. I completely forgot about that. Oh, that was the one where they picked the Leslie after the Yuzhong was picked.
Big oof.
Oh yeah, that was I remember that moment. Fight for the Lord though, less than half, quarter of the health here.
Quick dodge and a blitz. Cartesian secures the turtle. Phantom Steed coming in, looking to punish whoever's on Dominic in the back line, but it's too much, too little. Sanji takes down Edward, and even underneath their purple, in comes JP. Dominic takes down Stanford, and Daiki finds revenge on Dominic. Sanji gets a double. The chef finds 2.
And that's unfortunate. He didn't have the flicker anymore, and he gets caught by the AOG. So Aurora on the defense with 2 members, Demon Kite and Light, to defend this bit of a push here to get these holy defensive down before that Lord makes its way down bot.
That's the rough thing about Aurora's Leslie pick. It worked out against them because that left Cartesian free to farm. Because of JP going down to the gold lane, that also called Light down to the gold lane, meaning that because of the speed between the two, Cartesian will just end up clearing the jungle way faster than Demon Kite.
Unintentional dead lane for Aurora.
Yeah, there was no disruption from Aurora's side to try and stop Cartesian from getting farmed. And there was nothing stopping Cartesian from getting those turtles. He had to work for it, yes, but all 3 went there. And I think Aurora was banking on them winning the turtle fights.
Feather Dare Strike! They're trying to stop this penetration attempt from Liquid down bottom. JP very low, revitalized, keeps him alive. In comes Edward. Final slash displaces him, but JP is still up. Dominic Kite ends him, but a little too forward. Dominic Kite falls, so does Life, and Dominic Kite. Edward traded out for US down, and it's a wipeout. Stampede complete. Liquid have wiped out the M7 World Champions.
And like that, they're going to go into end of the series here with Game 3 under their belt. What a welcome for Daiki and TLPH.
Welcome to the home of champions.